Papa. Morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Sorry for the noise. And salam alaikum, alaikum, pacuenda and Sara. Pray you guys are doing great. Ya tú sabes. Zambia arriba, Zambia abajo, Zambia a los cuatro costados. O la bendición, ya tú sabes. Nada, here just waking up in the morning, doing the usual. Gotta get this work done. And wanted to speak a little bit today on Makutos, which we have spoke about Makutos already a while back. But I wanted to touch a little bit more on Makutos just in case we need a little more understanding, some on what is a Makuto, what is it for, and what's the purpose. First of all, Makuto could be made out of different things. Usually it's organic. Usually the Makutos are made out of organic things, meaning natural things, like a rock, like a stone, like a bone, like leather cloth made into a pouch, straw, something made out of straw, alligator skin, snake skin. You also could make a Makuto out of jewelry, a type of jewelry, whether it's a bracelet, whether it's a ring, whether it's an earring. You can make a Makuto for a certain purpose out of these things also. Makutos come in different forms. Even antler bones or antlers. You could use goat horns. There's all types of organic materials. Wood could be used also for a Makuto. What is a Makuto? A Makuto is kind of like a parcel, right? Kind of like a parcel. Whether it has a void or not, to me it's still considered a parcel because it's a tangible item, right, that you have on your persons, whether you have it on your neck, whether you have it on your pocket, whether you have it around your waist, whether you have it on your ankle, wherever it may be, whether you have it home, at a business, in a hospital, because either you work there or you are in the hospital for a certain situation. Usually, Makutos are given for protection. Like you will get initiated in some houses, and the elder, you won't receive anything else but a Makuto. And it might look different than anybody else's Makuto. You understand? Or it might look the same, because we like to use organic items, things that have substance, things that come from the natural, from planet Earth, whether it be animals, vegetation, anything. Even though I even spoke about straw, making a Makuto out of straw. And sometimes people say straw. Well, yeah, you could make a Makuto, meaning you could use the straw and weave it and make a Makuto out of that. It's not so. There are different traditions that do it this way too. I seen straw. They almost look like purses, handmade. They actually call them Makutos, because what they put inside that carrying purse is what they need, whether it be for protection, for health, for financial gain, for anything, for anything that it was constructed and made for. Like I said, a Makuto could be that you're given this Makuto because of a health issue, and this Makuto prepared correctly, the right way, from the right person, can help you in a health issue either stop the process or slow down the process in that sense. And there are things sometimes that could be done that you could even take that issue off the person. It all depends. It all depends. You could have cowrie shells, you know, as a Makuto. You could have any shell, any natural shell that's been conformed for a Makuto, and you could carry it in your pocket. You know, in the Latino community, we know things like this as a resguardo. Resguardo, meaning that it protects you from certain things. And but they use a different system, a different tradition, you know, with certain beliefs and doctrines and ideologies of what is protecting them and who, you know, dependent on their faith and what they believe in. Now, there are Makutos that you receive from some houses when you get initiated. There are Makutos that when you go and you need, let's say you want a reading and something comes out and you need protection from a certain individual or individuals, you know, then the elder, whether male or female, will prepare you something for you to always have it on your person. If it's something that has to do with your home, they could prepare something for the home, like I said, for the vehicle, for the job, for you personally, whether it be for all different things, whether it be for health, whether it be for spouse issues, whether it be for anything. There's so many things that you can make or conform or give somebody a Makuto for different reasons. That's why I say that not everybody needs to be initiated to have their life more in order. There are many people who are not initiated but go and see a tata or yaya and they get their problems solved, you know, well, following the instructions, following the rules, and you know what they're told, and so on and so forth. Well, that's what Makuto really it's all about. You'll see some people have an ankle bracelet. Some will have a bracelet in their hand, and it's not beads. It doesn't have to be beads or none of that stuff. You know, it's all dependent on the person and how also the elder prepares things and for what purpose. You know, you're not going to use a bracelet for certain things. You're not going to use a ring for certain things, you know, and so forth and so on. You have to know exactly what is entails of, what is it going to be about, and all that has to be spoken, you know, with Nganga or El Muerto and that, so you could be able to, you know, and ask what is it that it needs and all that to be able to make a Makuto. You could also make a Makuto out of sack, out of sack cloth. It's a very traditional thing to use sack cloth and all that, and whatever belong or whatever it needs, it goes in the sack. It's consecrated and everything, and it's sold, you know, and then after they do whatever they do, they'll give it to the person. It looks like a little pillow, but it has bilongo in there, and it's specifically for you. It's not that you could take that sack or whatever they give you and give it to somebody else. No. It's made for you, because it's supposed to vibe with you, and that's, you know, what some people also use as Makutos. I had one made out of sack for a while that was given to me, and I still got it, but I have it home. What else could we speak about? If you look at some of the Haitian practitioners, the practitioners voodoo, some of the Dominicans that practices the 21 division. Usually you see it with not the mambosa, the hogan. The hogan, some hogan, you see that they'll have this weaved purse, just like a purse. Also, I just remember about that. And they call that purse a Makuto, because everything that they put inside there, that they carry, has a purpose. You know, so they consider that a Makuto also. Makutos are very good to have because I have heard so many stories, you know, in the 80s. I was a kid, but I used to hear people talk, because there was a time in New York where Santeria, especially Ocha, because you gotta remember that Palo was even way more underground. Like, you had to know people that know people that know people. It wasn't out there like that. And it ain't like now that we speak about Palo here and all that, you know. And I know a lot of others frown upon people like me to speak about it, because Palo was never spoken about like this online. It wasn't like this. You understand? Whether you gave secrets or you didn't give secrets. It wasn't, they don't talk about stuff like this online. It's only now, in these days, that, you know, people have come out. Some have given good information, some have given bogus information, some have in between. You know, it all depends. But in New York, there was a time when Ocha and even the 21 division, people that work voodoo in the 21 division, was also known as, I'm not just going to say Ocha, I'm also going to say 21 division and voodoo, got real popular amongst the ghettos. And I'm going to say ghettos because I don't want to name nationalities. The ghettos of New York, of Manhattan, of Brooklyn, the Bronx, Queens, you know, and these areas where it was more predominant, there were areas more predominantly more ghetto. And a lot of people got initiated from these ghettos, and they made a lot of money. Not only did the people in the ghettos make money and had protection and got away with a lot of different things, also the people that were doing the ceremonies, the elders, made a lot of money also. But like everything in life, when you do things that you should not do, it bites you. At the end of the day, it bites you back. And when it bites you back, it's worse than when it was not biting you. It was actually feeding you. And a lot of things happen. You can look up stories. I used to live in New York, so I personally know stories of people in different parts, because I got family all over New York. You understand? They got initiated, people they initiated others, and things that were going on in New York where things were going crazy, and there were a lot of people initiated into these practices, but there weren't much people initiated into Inquisimalongo because Palo wasn't put out like that. It was out there. I'm not saying it's not out there, but it was real few, very few that they knew who was who and what was what. It wasn't like the 21 Division, Ocha, Voodoo, and stuff like that. It wasn't out there like that. You understand? Santo Domingo, 21 Division is known. It's frowned upon by a lot of the people out there because of the Catholic faith and that. But in another sense, a lot of people practice it also. Just like Voodoo also. It's frowned upon by some, and others practice it. Just like Palo is frowned upon, and people practice it. All the same thing. He fought the same thing. So, we're not talking about anything different here, guys. It happens to all the traditions and everything. But anyway, just if you guys are interested in looking at the 80s and 90s, early 80s and early to almost late 90s in New York, well, really early 90s also, you'll see, and you can get information. If you know any elders from over there, they could also give you some stories. That's some nice, some crazy stories, but it's, things, that give good name and at the same time bad names to our tradition. But anyway, guys, salam alaikum salam. I wanted to speak about a little bit about Makutos. We spoke about this a while back. This morning, I don't know, I woke up in the morning and Makuto came to my brain. And I'm like, well, why am I going to speak about Makutos? I already, talked about Makutos, So there you have it, Makutos in a nutshell. You have to get it prepared by an elder, and different people call it by different names, depending on the tradition that they are in, and they are made and prepared in different parcels or different things, depending on the tradition of what falls or whatever that it consists of. Assalamu alaikum, salam. Have a great day. Thumb up the video for the algorithm. Be safe. Talk to you in the next one.